I'll read you the quote. Tony Fauci said, the virus is not going to stop and call a timeout while things change. The virus is just going to keep going. The process is going to keep going. This is something that just is now going in a very, very strong direction. The vaccines are effective, very, very strong right direction. The vaccines are effective. We want to get it approved as quickly as we possibly can. We want to get doses to people starting in December, and then we want to really get the ball rolling as we get into January, February, and March. We want a smooth process for that. And the way you do that is by essentially having the two groups speak to each other and exchange information. My old boss, George W. Bush, insisted upon a smooth and very productive transition to your old boss, which I think became the foundation eventually for a friendship between the two families. Your old boss insisted on and demanded a smooth transition of power to whatever Trump did in the transition. It is hard to sort of articulate how important this period is of time unless you've lived through it. You and I both lived through it. You're exhausted from the campaign, but you have a much more important task. You're in charge of the federal government. Can you just speak to how detrimental it is in the middle of a crisis? And you listen to that timeline from Fauci. The transition is when the logistics, and it's almost like a wartime operation, figuring out how to move vaccines into every community, the most vulnerable ones first, into people's arms, as Dr. Patel said, isn't going to happen because Trump won't acknowledge the result of the election.
You know, Nicole, it's remarkable to say this given the last 4 years, but I think we've now reached where Trump is handling the lack of the concession, the lack of transition cooperation as we're dealing with a once-in-a-century pandemic. It's the most reckless and irresponsible thing he's ever done. You know, we have an election in early November. A new president takes over the third week of January. It's no time at all. It's over in a blink of an eye. And so the damage here is severe. It's all to satisfy his childlike ego. This election's not even that close. He tweeted at the governor of Ohio today. He's much more enraged about the governor of Ohio saying Joe Biden won an election he won than about the pandemic raging all around us. And listen, at the end of the day, we pay a price all the time for this, but I think it's coming to a crescendo now. When you put one of the worst human beings on the planet in the most powerful office the world's ever known, bad things are going to happen. And that's what's happening right now. And I wish I'd say the Thursday of this week, Tuesday of next week, he's going to come to his senses. I don't think he will. And, back in 1981, the Iranians released the hostages on January 20th, right after Ronald Reagan took the oath of office. I think we're going to have to, unfortunately, wait till then to be fully released from the irresponsibility we've seen from this administration. And Joe Biden's right. People are going to die. A lot of them are going to die because the president refuses to acknowledge the outcome of an election.
Well, someone whose life was threatened, and we know that because the FBI foiled a plot against her, David Plouffe, is Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Donald Trump's top medical advisor, and it's still unclear why he is the president's medical advisor, tweeted more sort of flame fanning rhetoric against her. Do you sense that there is anyone in the room that is doing anything other than either dealing with the president's hurt feelings, as you said, or spreading disinformation?
Yeah, so for Atlas to do that, I mean, it's remarkable. He's paid by the taxpayer. Supposedly, he's paid to help us manage COVID. He's been a disaster at that. And he's basically, picking up Donald Trump's comments about the Proud Boys from the debate, stand by. He's calling people to basically armed vigilante. No matter how he tries to clean it up, that's what happens. So listen, at the end of the day, I think the only people that can get him to potentially acknowledge the election results are no elected official. It would be his kids. And they seem to be the ones, particularly the boys, who are rattling the cages the loudest. So he's living in a fantasy world. He wants to be able to leave on January 20th with himself convinced and viewers of Newsmax convinced and viewers of OAN convinced that he won the election. And again, this is not a close election. He's going to lose by the same electoral vote margin he won back in 2016. The Michigan margins triple, what he won those three states by. The Pennsylvania margin's over 70,000 votes now. So we're all paying a price for a childish ego. And again, we're going to have tens of thousands of people die unnecessarily. The logistical challenges of getting that vaccine out. It's not just logistical. Yeah. We have behavioral, We have financial, we have public education. It is a massive, massive challenge. And I think at the end of the day, the weeks we're going to lose right here are going to be devastating for the country.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.